extra English practice. Hi everybody and welcome to EAP. Today we want to talk about subject-verb agreement. Your subject and your verb in English have to agree. So if your subject is singular, then the verb has to have a singular form as well. And the same is true for plurals. If you have a plural subject, then the verb needs to have a plural form. So for example, Misha is one person, singular subject. Misha is beautiful.
Aww.
But if I make the subject plural, Misha and her brother, that's they, there's two of them, plural. Misha and her brother are good friends.
That's true.
So for today, we're going to just use the verb to be in all of our examples because we're going to talk about lots of different rules that are getting complicated. So we're going to simplify by keeping the verb consistent. But you can use any verb.
Yeah.
And the rules are the same.
That's right. Okay, so today we're going to look at the more complicated rules of subject-verb agreement. We're going to start with the subjects with which we use the singular form of the verb. So for our examples, this is the subjects that are followed by is. The first one is anytime we use an indefinite pronoun. An indefinite pronoun is words like anybody, somebody, no one, everyone. These ones are confusing because obviously a word like everyone, that means more than one person.
Yeah, it's a plural idea.
It's a plural idea.
But
No.
singular subject.
It's weird. So anytime you have a word that ends with one or buddy, like these examples, you use a singular subject. So for example, I could say, everybody is happy.
Nobody is sad.
Perfect.
Each and every are also singular subjects, so they will agree with a singular verb. For example, each video that we make is posted on YouTube.
You should go check them out.
And every person in my family is tall.
Except your children.
But for their age, they're tall. If your subject is a gerund or a gerund phrase or an infinitive phrase, then that will also be followed by a singular verb. Those are singular subjects. So for example, swimming is something I like to do.
Me too.
Playing sports is fun. So even though sports in that phrase was plural, it's a gerund phrase. The gerund is singular. Playing is. Playing what? Playing sports. Playing is fun. Playing sports is fun.
If your subject is a collective noun is a noun that refers to a group of people. So like family or team or committee. These words, even though they're referring to a group, like our indefinite pronouns, everybody, someone, these act like singular subjects. So for example, I would say the team is winning the game, or the family is coming over for dinner.
When we talk about amounts of things, so weights or time, like minutes, or measures, how long something is, these subjects are also singular. So if I'm talking about $10, $10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's plural, but we use it with a singular, we use it as a singular subject. So $10 is a good price for this thing. Or 10 kilometers is too far to walk in the cold. On a snowy day.
It's real cold and snowy here right now. 1 kilometer is too far to walk.
It really is.
There's also one more group in this category, and these are just certain words that sound like plurals but act like singular words. So for example, news, right? The news last night was very interesting. Or mathematics, right? Mathematics is his favorite subject. Not my favorite subject.
Me neither. Let's talk now about some plural subjects, words that don't necessarily seem like they are, but go with a plural verb. First, determiners that go with plural count nouns. So for example, many, several, or few. Here are some examples. Few people are reading the newspaper these days. Many are reading it online instead.
It's true. Also, anytime we have a subject that uses and, we need to use a plural form of the verb. So for example, Larissa and Misha are explaining the rules of subject-verb agreement.
Yes, we are.
Yep. This is anytime you use the word and, but it's not true if you use other words that have the same meaning. So for example, if I said Larissa with her friends is explaining grammar. So in this case, it doesn't use a plural verb. It's only if you use the word and specifically. So Larissa and her friends are explaining this. Then we use a plural verb.
Okay, guys, it's about to get weird. A few examples now that could be either singular or plural depending. So buckle your seatbelts. Here we go.
You got this.
First one is with paired conjunctions. So if you have a sentence like a subject like neither this nor that, it could be singular. The verb could be singular or plural depending on which one comes second or comes closest to the verb. So for example, neither my shoes nor my hat is here. But if I switch them around, neither my hat nor my shoes are here. So the verb depends on which noun in the subject is closest to it. Weird.
That is a tricky one.
Some other conjunction pairs are either or. Listen. What do you hear? Either my children or my husband is home. Either my husband or my children are home. And not only, but also. Not only exercising, but also dancing is good for your body.
Mm-hmm. Next, we have some more determiners. But in this case, they're determiners that could go with count or non-count nouns. So for example, some of. If I said some of my friends, this is a count plural noun, so I would follow it with a plural. Some of my friends are very funny. Just some.
Some of them are quite tedious.
Yeah. Or if I said some of the water, which is a non-count noun, some of the water is cold. So when you use something like some of, all of, none, you have to look at the noun that it comes with to decide whether the verb should be in its singular or plural form.
If you have a noun followed by some kind of phrase, it could be a clause or a phrase that describes it or gives extra information, and then the verb, you can just ignore it altogether, and that verb agrees with the original subject. For example, Misha, who wears glasses, is standing with me. Mm-hmm. So glasses are plural, the glasses are, but Misha is singular. So Misha, who wears glasses, is here with me. And how about this? One of my friends is coming over for dinner. One of my friends is. One and is, even though friends is plural. One of my friends are coming for dinner? No, only one. Mm-hmm. One is coming.
That's right.
And final example, Canadians who like the snow are...
Crazy?
The minority, I was going to say.
There's too much snow.
So Canadians are the minority. Which ones? The ones who like the snow. Even though snow is not a plural noun, Canadians are. So Canadians who like the snow are not us.
Yeah, that's true. One last thing you want to think about is nouns that have the same form, whether they're plural or singular. So for example, sheep or fish. So in this case, you have to think about the meaning of the sentence, right? Is it the fish is swimming? Delicious? Or the fish are in the tank? So just think about the meaning of what you're trying to say. Okay, so we gave you a lot of rules. They're complicated even for us. There are some more details to these rules, but we don't want to give any more information in this video. So if you find an exception or you have a question about a specific example, just put it in the comments and we'll explain it for you.
SVA Q&A.
That's right. Subject-verb agreement, question and answer.
We're going to play a game. In this game, Misha's going to hold up a subject, and I'm going to hold up a verb, and we're going to see if they agree or not. Mm-hmm. And so see if you can say whether they agree or not before we do. Ready?
Writing essays is super fun. I'm always trying to convince my students that's true, but they don't believe me.
The news is. The news is interesting.
The woman, along with her friends, no, this is a singular subject. So the woman, along with her friends, is happy to be at the party.
All of the information is accurate.
The fish are happy in the ocean.
Also, the fish is swimming by himself. Neither the cats nor the dogs are behaving.
Oh, it's my turn. Neither the dogs nor the cat is sleeping.
All of the cookies are in my belly.
You didn't leave any for me?
No, sorry.
Each student, this doesn't work, each student is intelligent.
Anybody is welcome to join us.
Someone, no, this is singular, so this doesn't work. Someone is knocking on the door.
Better answer it.
Hello.
One of the cities in my country is not frozen.
Just the one.
Just the one.
Many Canadians are inside on a cold day like this.
We're very focused on the weather, can't you tell?
It's so cold.
Singing with friends is fun to do in the karaoke bar.
Let's try it. Both places, no, are important.
Misha and Larissa are
Awesome.
Thanks, yeah.
5 miles is, that works, too far to,
Swim,
yeah.
bike, walk. Walk on your hands.
It's not too far to bike. It's
Walk
too far
on
to
your
walk in your
hands.
hands. You guys walk in your hands? I think one foot
One
is
step.
too far.
3 pounds is the weight of, what, a chicken?
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe not.
A bag of potatoes?
5 pounds? A bag of carrots.
Yeah.
3 pounds is the weight of a bag of carrots. Oh, not are, is.
That's right.
Here is a summary of the rules we covered today. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe and share this with your friends.
And if you want more videos about grammar, you can click on these.
Let's get weird now.
Let's get weird. Each video we make
It's made with love.
yeah.
I love grammar.